We've all heard about the butterfly effect and applied it to day-to-day life, but did you know about these small events in history which set off massive changes? To learn more, keep watching our video for butterfly effects, small events that change the world. Constantine and the Celestial Sign. In 306 CE, Constantine, a military leader and the newly appointed emperor of Rome, found himself at a crossroads regarding his religious beliefs. At that time, the Roman Empire was a polytheistic society with a diverse array of gods and religious practices. Constantine, while not explicitly hostile towards Christianity, had yet to embrace the faith. However, everything changed one fateful day when Constantine reported a remarkable celestial phenomenon that would forever alter the course of his life and shape the destiny of Christianity in Europe. As the story goes, Constantine witnessed a celestial body appearing in the form of a cross, brilliantly illuminated and burning in the sky. This event, often referred to as the Celestial Sign, was interpreted by Constantine as a divine message from God. Moved and inspired by this extraordinary occurrence, Constantine believed the Celestial Sign was an explicit endorsement from the Christian God. He saw it as a call to embrace Christianity and abandon the Roman Empire's traditional polytheistic beliefs. Constantine's conversion to Christianity marked a significant turning point in European history. As emperor, Constantine wielded immense power and influence. His newfound faith led him to enact a series of measures that would transform the religious landscape of the Roman Empire. Constantine issued the Edict of Milan in 313 CE, which granted religious freedom to Christians and ended their persecution. This landmark edict not only halted the oppression of Christians, but also established a legal framework that protected and promoted their faith. The reign of Constantine also witnessed the construction of several significant Christian sites, including the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem and the original St. Peter's Basilica in Rome. These monumental structures symbolize the newfound prominence of Christianity within the Roman Empire. Christianity, which had once been a persecuted and marginalized religion, now experienced a rapid ascent. The Roman Catholic Church, with its roots in the teaching of Jesus Christ and the Apostles, emerged as a dominant religious institution in Europe. The influence of the Church expanded steadily, permeating the social, cultural, and political fabric of European societies. Ogedei Khan's untimely death. Ogedei Khan, the third son of the legendary Genghis Khan, was a military genius and a key figure in the expansion of the Mongol Empire. Under his leadership, the Mongols had achieved an unparalleled success, conquering vast territories across Central Asia, China, and Europe. With a formidable army and the potential to continue their conquests, the Mongols seemed poised for global domination. However, fate had other plans in store. Ogedei's untimely death in 2014 CE brought a sudden halt to the Mongols' grand ambitions. His passing was not the result of a battlefield defeat or a strategic miscalculation, but rather due to health issues, which, despite his remarkable military achievements, proved to be an insurmountable obstacle. The death of Ogedei Khan sent shockwaves through the Mongol Empire, triggering a series of events that would reshape the course of history. One immediate consequence was a power struggle among rival tribes and factions vying for control over the vast Mongol territories. The absence of a clear successor to Ogedei fueled internal strife and created a vacuum of leadership, setting the stage for a tumultuous period in Mongol history. Without a strong central authority, the Mongol Empire faced the risk of fragmentation. The unity that had propelled their previous conquests began to unravel as different factions pursued their own agendas. One of the most significant rival factions emerged under the leadership of Batu, a grandson of Genghis Khan and a powerful Mongol commander. Batu commanded immense respect and influence within the Mongol ranks, and many saw him as a potential successor to Ogedei. However, the deaths of both Ogedei and Batu in relatively quick succession further complicated the Mongol leadership crisis. The loss of these key figures dealt a severe blow to the Mongols' plan for continued expansion. It disrupted the chain of command, leaving a void in strategic decision-making and weakening the cohesion of the empire. The power struggle that ensued among rival tribes further splintered the Mongol Empire. Internal conflicts and disagreements over succession overshadowed the pursuit of further conquests. The once unstoppable Mongol war machine ground to a halt as rival factions focused on consolidating their own territories rather than expanding the empire. Adolf Hitler's rejection from the Academy of Fine Arts in Vienna. Adolf Hitler's rejection from the Academy of Fine Arts in Vienna in 1907 and 1908 had far-reaching consequences that altered the course of history. While the exact outcome of Hitler's acceptance into the Academy remains uncertain, his subsequent experiences and personal journey shaped his worldview and set in motion a chain of events that would propel him to power as the dictator of Germany. After his rejection, Hitler relocated to Munich, where he immersed himself in the city's cultural and political scene. It was in Munich that he found a community of like-minded individuals who shared his frustrations and resentments. These encounters became instrumental in the development of his far-right ideology, which would later serve as the foundation of the Nazi Party. Hitler's rejection from the Art Academy redirected his ambitions and fueled his desire for political influence. In Munich, he attended nationalist and anti-Semitic gatherings, where he absorbed extremist rhetoric that fueled his belief in German racial superiority and his deep-seated hatred for Jews. These experiences laid the groundwork for his rise within the ranks of the Nazi Party. By the early 1930s, Hitler had become a prominent figure in German politics. Exploiting the economic hardships and political instability of the time, he garnered support by promising economic recovery, restoring national pride, and scapegoating various groups, particularly Jews, for Germany's troubles. Through propaganda and manipulation, Hitler attracted a following that shared his vision of a racially pure Germany and a return to national glory. Ho Chi Minh's letter to President Harry Truman. In 1945, Ho Chi Minh, the leader of the Viet Minh and future president of North Vietnam, wrote a letter to President Harry Truman of the United States, seeking support for Vietnamese independence from French colonial rule. Ho Chi Minh's letter was a significant milestone in the Vietnamese struggle for independence and demonstrated his earnest desire to establish diplomatic relations with the United States. The letter outlined the historical context of Vietnam's fight against French colonialism and emphasized the shared values of freedom and self-determination between the Vietnamese people and the American nation. Ho Chi Minh expressed admiration for the principles enshrined in the United States Declaration of Independence and hoped that the United States would recognize the legitimacy of the Vietnamese cause. He sought support in ending French colonial rule and fostering an independent Vietnam, free from foreign dominance. However, to Ho Chi Minh's dismay, his letter never reached President Truman. It was intercepted and disregarded by Truman's advisors, who held a pessimistic view of Ho Chi Minh and the Viet Minh's intentions. The prevailing perspective among Truman's advisors was that Ho Chi Minh and the Viet Minh were communist-leaning revolutionaries and should be treated as such. Consequently, this missed opportunity for dialogue and potential collaboration with Ho Chi Minh pushed him to seek assistance from other nations, particularly the Soviet Union and China. The absence of communication and collaboration between Ho Chi Minh and the United States had far-reaching consequences. The United States, unaware of Ho Chi Minh's genuine aspirations for independence, failed to engage in meaningful discussions that could have potentially altered the course of history. Ho Chi Minh's subsequent alliance with communist nations in the region, particularly the Soviet Union and China, intensified the Cold War dynamics and transformed the Vietnam conflict into a proxy war between the superpowers. Had Ho Chi Minh's letter reached President Truman and received serious consideration, the trajectory of U.S.-Vietnamese relations could have been different. It is possible that a dialogue could have been initiated, paving the way for negotiations and potentially avoiding the protracted and devastating Vietnam War. The letter represented an opportunity for diplomacy and peaceful resolution, but its interception perpetuated a cycle of misunderstanding, mistrust, and escalating conflict. The discovery of penicillin by Alexander Fleming. In 1928, Scottish scientist Alexander Fleming made a chance discovery that revolutionized medicine. While studying bacteria at St. Mary's Hospital in London, he noticed something peculiar in one of his petri dishes. A mold called Penicillium notatum had accidentally contaminated the dish, and to Fleming's astonishment, it had killed the surrounding bacteria. This accidental observation would become the foundation of the development of penicillin, the world's first widely used antibiotic. Fleming's initial curiosity led him to investigate further. He discovered that the mold produced a substance that possessed remarkable antibacterial properties. Recognizing the potential significance of this finding, he named it penicillin and began researching its potential applications in treating infectious diseases. However, the road to harnessing the full power of penicillin was not without obstacles. Fleming's discovery, though groundbreaking, did not immediately result in the mass production and widespread use of the antibiotic. The limitations of laboratory resources and the complexities involved in isolating and purifying the active ingredient of penicillin presented significant challenges. It was not until the early 1940s when a team of scientists, led by Howard Florey and Ernest Chain at the University of Oxford, took up Fleming's work, that penicillin began to be produced on a large scale. Their research and subsequent collaboration with pharmaceutical companies paved the way for the industrial production of penicillin, allowing its life-saving potential to be harnessed for the benefit of millions. The widespread availability of penicillin during World War II further underscored its importance. The antibiotic played a crucial role in treating soldiers wounded in battle, reducing the risk of infection and improving their chances of survival. Its impact extended beyond the war, shaping post-war medical practices and revolutionizing healthcare worldwide. With that, we come to the end of our video. We hope you enjoyed us recollecting the events that set off big changes. See you next time with another great video. Until then, ciao!